Trust the only payment solution developed for attorneys and recommended by 47 state bars. LawPay.
Welcome to this special edition of the ABA Journal's Asked and Answered. I am ABA Journal podcast editor Lee Rawls, and today I'm joined by the president of the ABA, Hilarie Bass, and by the associate executive director of Meetings and Travel Group, Marty Balogh. We're here to talk to you about the ABA annual meeting, which is coming up in August. And thank you both for joining us.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
So, Hilarie, you have been to the annual meeting for many years. In your experience, both now, this is your presidential year, and in the past, why have you enjoyed the annual meeting? Why do you think it's great for members or anyone else who may be interested in our programming to attend?
What's always been so exciting to me about the annual meeting is it's the one opportunity all year where representatives of all our various ABA members and entities are together at the same time. So you can interact not just with people that you know from your own entity or niche practice area, but interact with people and see CLEs in all kinds of different topic areas that you perhaps had not previously experienced.
And every annual meeting has kind of its own flavor. This year, we're holding it in Chicago. Marty, you've been really involved in some of the programming. What are a few of the highlights that you were excited about?
Well, we have a couple of new things that are happening, as well as a couple of programs that we tried last year in New York that we're building on. One of those is CLE in the City, which is going to be an opportunity for 8 tracks of programs that will be held in law firms and law schools around Chicago. So it brings the meeting out of the hotel and into the legal community in Chicago. So it's a great opportunity to do some exploring while you're also doing some learning.
And there are 8 different tracks that I see that you can attend for CLE in the City. One that I think could be exciting is this gaming sweepstakes and franchise law. With the recent Supreme Court decision, that sounds like there will be a lot to talk about. Hilarie, there is an event being held on Thursday, which is also the same day as CLE in the City is taking place, that is one of the projects that you have really focused on in your presidential year. Could you talk a little bit about the Me Too Time's Up Sexual Harassment in the Workplace Forum that you're going to be holding?
Thank you, of course. Well, actually, the presidential initiative that we've been working on this year focuses on long-term career success for women. And one of the things that we've discovered is that sexual harassment is shockingly still an issue for a number of women attorneys. There were some recent studies confirming that, both in California and Florida. So this panel discussion is going to allow the attendees to really get the up-to-date information about what's going on in this space in the legal profession. So, for example, among the people that will be appearing on that panel is Judge Margaret McEwen from the Ninth Circuit. And Judge McEwen not only chaired the Ninth Circuit panel on sexual harassment in the workplace, but is also a member of Chief Justice Roberts' sexual harassment panel, and they're actually coming out today with their recommendations. So that should be very, very interesting as far as explaining what the courts are looking into. We also have Tina Chen, who previously was the Chief of Staff for Michelle Obama, and she has started a movement where she's collected over $20 million to help pay the expenses of victims who are bringing claims, as well as matching up pro bono lawyers. So to the extent there are lawyers out there who have an interest in volunteering to assist victims, there'll be an opportunity to do that as well. We'll also have somebody who has been a victim of sexual harassment in the workplace, and she'll give her story and explain why she made the personal decision not to pursue a claim against the perpetrator. And we'll also have a corporate representative from Microsoft talking about their decision to eliminate mandatory arbitration of harassment claims that previously was in each of their employment agreements. And so they represent a real tsunami that's happening in the corporate world to eliminate those mandatory arbitration provisions. So it's going to be a very, very interesting panel discussion, and we'll really have cutting-edge information about what's going on inside the legal profession, both in-house and outside, in the area of sexual harassment, both preventing it and how to address it within the workplace.
Well, you mentioned some very high-profile guests with a deep bench of experience, and they're not going to be the only high-profile people who are going to attend and speak to people at the meeting. Marty, can you talk a little bit about some of the guests who will be coming to Chicago to appear at annual meeting?
Certainly. Immediately following the Me Too Time's Up forum, we have a second forum, and that will be addressed by the Deputy Attorney General of the United States. So Mr. Rosenstein will be joining us to give remarks, and that's on August 2nd at 4:30 at the Hyatt Regency Chicago. And we expect that that will be a sellout event, certainly very topical, and I know that our registrants will be looking forward to hearing him. On Saturday, we have our General Assembly, and we're very honored this year to have Brian Stevenson, who will be giving the keynote address at that event. Hilarie will be presiding over that event. There'll be the presentation of the ABA medal. We'll have wonderful entertainment. It'll be a terrific evening, and it's open to both the registrants as well as the registrants' guests. So it'll be something you won't want to miss.
Well, that certainly sounds like something people are going to want to check out. Before we move on, we do need to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor.
Did you know that attorneys who accept online payments get paid 39% faster on average than those using traditional payment methods? With LawPay, the only payment solution offered through the ABA Advantage program, you can accept client payments online, via email, or in person, no equipment needed. Visit lawpay.com/podcast to sign up and get your first 3 months free.
And we're back. I'm still here with ABA President Hilarie Bass and Marty Balogh from ABA Meetings and Travel. And Marty brought up entertainment. Hilarie, you have a couple different events at annual meeting that I think will be a really fun social time for anyone who is able to attend. Could you tell us a little bit about the Concert for Legal Services Corporation and your reception?
Thank you. So on Friday, August 3rd, between 4 and 5:30, we will have our second annual Concert for Legal Services. Actually, Marty was very instrumental in putting this together last year in New York, and it was such an incredible success that we are recreating it here in Chicago. So this is an opportunity to get together with a number of extremely well-known, both Broadway stars, as well as other entertainers, cabaret and otherwise, who will be giving a concert in honor of and support of Legal Services Corporation. So we're very excited about it. And as I said last year, people just loved it. It was a wonderful way to both focus on legal services and what all lawyers can do to assist them, as well as really enjoy a phenomenal concert. The other event that we're very excited about, of course, is the annual President's Reception. And that will be held Saturday, August 4th, between 7 and 9 in the Chicago Cultural Center. And this will include everything from the big band sound of the Chicago Cats with a blues singer to an improvisational theater, a cabaret performance, and, of course, local food favorites from throughout recognized restaurants in Chicago. So that's another evening that I'm really looking forward to, and I think people will very much enjoy being at the Cultural Center with its beautiful Tiffany Dome.
And there actually is an opportunity for members to participate in this cabaret performance. Marty, can you talk a little bit about ABA Cabaret and how people could get involved?
Great. Well, we realize that many lawyers and their guests have talents that they may not show all the time, and this is going to give an opportunity to actually be part of the President's Reception. We are creating a cabaret area that is modeled after an event that happens in Chicago every Monday night at Pettorino's in the Theater District. And so if you go to our website, you can see how you would submit your audition video, and it can be very informal, but it'll be an opportunity for you to perform, to show your friends and other guests at the President's reception that you have talent that they may not know about at this point, but it should be a great evening. So just check out our website for the details.
And I think one of the fun and enjoyable parts of attending an annual meeting is enjoying the city. Now, Marty and I, Chicago is our hometown. And Hilarie, you have had a chance, especially this year, to spend a lot of time in Chicago, but as someone who's visiting. So if you had any recommendations or favorite spots for people to check out when they're in Chicago, what would some of those be?
Well, my personal favorite is Millennium Park. If I have an extra hour anytime I'm in Chicago, I'll go take a walk through the park, see the Amish Kapoor bean, and enjoy a walk along the water. So I think that's really a spectacular location that's really unmatched anywhere else in the world.
So hopefully with these highlights, we've given people some tantalizing clues as to what's going to be coming up during the annual meeting, August 2nd through the 7th. But if people want to find out more, to register, I know that the URL is ambar.org/annual. But what are other things that people should think about when they're deciding to come to Chicago and to join us for the annual meeting?
Well, great. There's different levels of registration. The easiest and certainly most inclusive would be to do the all-access registration, which is $495. That gives you everything. It allows you the ease of picking and choosing, sampling, with very little other charges except related to lunches that different entities may be putting on and their individual receptions. One of the other great benefits of that all-access pass is that it allows for a discount on some of the entertainment that is being offered during the annual meeting. That includes tickets for Hamilton, which are only available if you register at the $495, and that's for both performances on Thursday night and Friday night, a really hard ticket to get and a great opportunity. We also have tickets for the Cubs versus the Padre games that are going on during the meeting, and a new attraction of a river boat similar to those that are in Paris, that are the glass-covered flatboats that will just begin service on July 1st and certain to be a major attraction here in Chicago. With dinner served at the all-access level, you actually receive a discount on that price for that event. There's a second category that includes the President's reception, the Concert for Legal Services, and forums, as well as a new area that is going to be opening this year during the annual meeting. It's called Sidebar, and it's going to be a area adjacent to the registration counters where you'll be able to refresh, recharge. There'll be opportunities for you to network. It will be a gathering spot, kind of our own little town hall for our registrants at the meeting. The final area is a limited registration, and that's really aimed at people who simply are going to a committee meeting or two, but it does include the concert, the forums, the sidebar, and the General Assembly, and your entity and governance meetings. But clearly the best value for registrant is to do the all-access. It's simple and gives you an opportunity to really sample all of the best that the ABA is offering.
And one of the reasons that we're having our conversation this early is that there certainly are benefits to registering sooner rather than later. Can you talk about some important dates that people should consider when they're coming to annual?
Surely. The cutoff for early registration is July 6th. That is also the deadline for hotel rooms. With Lollapalooza going on in the city, not only are rooms scarce in Chicago, but the ABA's discounted rates are something that you won't find if you're simply searching the net. So you'll want to register early and take advantage of securing the kind of hotel accommodations that you would like.
And that could also be another benefit if you want to bring your family along with you to attend the meeting and have some teenagers perhaps who want to catch some concerts while you're learning about the law and in communication with all of your colleagues. So, Hilarie, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. This annual meeting is, at the close of it, you will pass the gavel to the next president. And I was wondering if you wanted to share any thoughts about your year as president. It's been a very eventful one. What have been some of your favorite aspects to being president of the ABA this year?
It's really been a great privilege to have had the honor of serving as the president of the American Bar Association this year. And I think what's so miraculous about this organization and the impact when lawyers across the country get together and focus on an issue is just how big a difference we can make, whether it's getting the Department of Justice to change a position on providing legal assistance to immigrants, or I was just in Poland this week and spoke out about some of the initiatives there that are undermining the judiciary. And in fact, one of the judges we were concerned about, the disciplinary proceedings against him, were dropped. There are just so many opportunities for lawyers working together to change the world for the better. And certainly being a president of this organization has put me in a position to see that firsthand.
And thank you again to both President Hilarie Bass of the ABA and to Marty Balogh for joining us on this special episode of the ABA Journal's Asked and Answered. We hope that we have inspired some of our listeners to join us in Chicago for the ABA annual meeting from August 2nd until the 7th in Chicago. And if you would like to do so, please go to the URL ambar.org/annual. That URL again is ambar.org/annual.